Hi, everybody. We are now at our closed session. I will call this closed session to order at 5:16. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak, or has any correspondence been received on any closed session items?
Not this evening.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The City Council will now recess to its closed session at 5:16 and 30 seconds. All right, thank you. Buddy, good evening. Happy New Year. We are excited to start off strong here in Menifee. I will go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:13. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Dynas.
Here.
Councilmember Temple.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Carwin.
Here.
And Mayor Estrada.
And I am here. Okay, we will now move on to, you know what? I just realized something. We need to report, right? All right. Sorry about that. Okay, well, let's see here. Yeah. Mr. City Attorney, is there anything to report out of closed session?
Mayor, there is no reportable action this evening.
All right. Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. We are going to now move on to words of inspiration. Can Pastor Aisa Sharp with the Lead Your Ships Ministry come to the podium to provide the words of inspiration, please?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Could we just bow our heads for a second, please? Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this opportunity to pray for our city council and our city Menifee. Lord, I ask that they come together collectively, come together unified, that they will do the best for the city of Menifee and the people that live here. God, I just ask that you bless this meeting, keep us on track, keep us focused, and we thank you for it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. We will now move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Chris Carnes, our newly elected Valley-wide representative, and he is a Menifee resident. We're excited about that. Will you please lead us in the pledge, sir?
Ready, begin.
All right, thank you very much. Now we will move on to presentations. This is our presentation for the Citizen of the Year, Gloria Sanchez. Would the council and Gloria, Ms. Sanchez, please meet us up at the front of the podium? Okay, good evening, Gloria. Congratulations on being awarded our Citizen of the Year. Every year we have our Menifee Citizens Advisory Committee who looks at 12 Menifee citizens throughout the year that were awarded the Citizen of the Month, and they selected Gloria Sanchez to be our Citizen of the Year. Gloria, you have done a great job in our community, providing financial resources and knowledge for the health and well-being of all of our residents. My favorite thing about you, Gloria, is you speak up. You speak up for all of the residents, not just seniors, but the youth, the middle-aged. You are always willing to voice your opinion to your council, to your neighbors, to all the community events. You come to the podium. That's what we need in this world. People who are willing to speak up and advocate for the betterment of others. And Gloria, I'm very proud to award you this today. I'm going to pass the mic along to our Mayor Pro Tem to share a few nice words as well.
Gloria, I was trying to figure out what to say. And the only thing that was coming to my mind was that you are the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer of our senior community. You have guided our sleigh through darkness, delivering joy to everyone in our community for so long, and we just thank you for doing that for all of us and really making it a lot easier to run this city with everything you've done to create the path for our seniors here, along with all the other service projects you do, but I'm going to focus on that one. And I just thank you so much, and I can't think of a more well-deserving person than you for this. Well, then I'm going to pass over to our newest council member, Dan Temple.
You know, I'm just so excited that you're the one who's been honored for this, because as long as I've known you, you have always been focused on people and love of people. and your love translates to service. And people can talk and talk and talk, but you serve, and you love people through your actions, and I'm just so grateful. So this is so well deserved. Thank you for doing all that you do for our city.
Gloria, I'm not going to compare you to a reindeer, but I will call you the volunteer extraordinaire. I mean, you volunteered for so many things. I think if we decided to make a list, it'd be easier to make a list of things you don't do than the things you do, because I know, and you do a lot for our community. You know, not to brag, but you were my choice. Thank you. But it was well deserved as the Outstanding Citizen of the Month, and it's even more deserved as the Citizen of the Year. They've got it right this time. Congratulations, you really, really deserve it. Thank you so much.
And Gloria, this is a big event. We have 119,000 residents, and out of all of them, you are one Citizen of the Year. So we also have special guests today from the state level and the federal level. I would like to introduce the representative for Mr. Asali, Casey Dever. Come on up, Casey.
You always got to know what you got to, just listen to what people tell you. Well, hello, Gloria. It's always good to see you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for letting us know. We're super excited that you were chosen as Menifee Citizen of the Year, and I can't think of anyone that's more deserving of you than you are. You always do so much for this community and care so much. You always look out for the best of the community, especially our senior community. And you're always looking out for, even I was joking today, you're looking out for us. I was trying to figure out where I was going to sit, and you already had it prepared. You're ready for us. So thank you for behalf of that. So on behalf of these Assemblymen, congratulations, and we'd love to present the certificate as well. So yeah, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and take a picture. Yes. All right, let's invite Angie up. Come on up, Angie. Angie represents our state senator, Kelly Sayarto. Here, this is for you too.
Hi, Gloria. It's an honor to be up here again for you. I honestly poured my heart out to you when you won not Student of the Month. There's a lot of Student of the Month, so I get that stuck in my head. But Citizen of the Month, and I really want to go ahead and echo those sentiments I had those days. It's just, as a fellow woman serving the community and serving the public, you serve as an amazing role model for myself, and you advocate for so many different people. I also mentioned this small thing last time, was that my accounting teacher was also named Gloria Sanchez, who worked over at us, MSJC. And when I heard that she was running for, I think if I remember correctly, either mayor or city council, I can't quite remember, I was like, are you running? And she's like, no, but I have helped on her campaign. So you could tell how wide your name spreads along amongst the halls of Menifee. And I just can't say enough about how much you mean and impact every single person here in this city. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now I'd like to invite Jet with Congressman Calvert's office. Come on up, Jet.
All right, well, hello, everybody. Here representing Congressman Ken Calvert, and you know we had to put ours in a really nice frame for you. There you go. Well, Gloria, on behalf of Congressman Calvert, we are so happy to be able to present this certificate to you. As everyone has mentioned up here, there's no one more deserving as Citizen of the Year for the city of Menifee. Everything that you do for the community, specifically in regards to the senior community rather, as chair of the Senior Advisory Committee, we are so eternally grateful. So thank you, and we know that you're going to continue all your amazing work here in the city of Menifee. So again, on behalf of Congressman Calvert, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jet. And now it's time to hear a few words from our Citizen of the Year, Gloria Sanchez. The floor is yours, madam.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I am so humbled by this award. I'm proud of the award. And I just want to say that I really appreciate my friends' support, my family's support, and all of you who have helped me get to this point. I do pour my heart out to my senior population. I love them all dearly, but I know that there's more than seniors in this wonderful city of Menifee, and it's my hope that we can all work together to make great things happen. And that's what it takes. It takes a team, and this city has always had good teams, and let's move forward and make greater things happen. Thank you once again for this wonderful, wonderful recognition. I'm so proud of it. I want to thank, again, all my friends, my support, Bill Zimmerman, Lisa Sobek, Matt back there being quiet. All of you have helped me along the way. Thank you, Dean. Thank you all up here. And thank you so much for the representation. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you once again.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a ribbon on this. The City Council of the City of Menifee does hereby recognize Gloria Sanchez for her outstanding dedication and service to the City of Menifee. This recognition honors her unwavering advocacy for the city senior community. Her compassion, tireless efforts, and impactful contributions exemplify the true meaning of civic responsibility. Congratulations. We are going to go ahead and take a photo with the council, and then after that, you are free to welcome up your family or anyone you would like to have up for a photo, okay? Come on up.
Washington was Citizen of the Year in Murrieta and Temecula, but never Menifee.
We will now move on to agenda item 5.2, Community Services Update. Could I have Community Services Manager Mariana Mitchell please provide that for us, please? Hi, Mariana.
Hi, good evening, Mayor, City Council. Mariana Mitchell, Community Services Manager with our Community Services Department. And it's my pleasure to deliver tonight's monthly update on community services. So before we get started on what's coming up in 2025, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of review some of the, highlight some of the accomplishments that took place over the year 2024 through community services programs and activities and services. Just as take a moment to celebrate what we do here in Menifee. And so for those of you who may or may not know, community services is actually our second largest department behind the police department with 26 full-time staff staff and approximately 85 part-time staff during the height of our summer seasonal programming. And so it's through their hard work that we're able to accomplish a number of great activities and programs and events. And so at first, we're going to go through some of our recreation program items through our recreation division. When we talk about recreation programs, we are talking about activities that are organized or led by city staff. And so they can be part-time or full-time staff, and ranges from things like our Tiny Tot and Youth programs at Lazy Creek Recreation Center, our Mighty Me All Ability program, our youth sports and aquatics programs, and then our senior activities and workshops. So through those various activities, we were able to offer nearly 1,300 programs through 2024, and in hopes of engaging all people of all activities and all levels of interest throughout the city of Menifee. So, oh, did I lose the microphone? No? Okay, all right, sorry about that. I lost the echo. Okay. So moving on, talking about some of our youth activities and our engagement, we are proud to bring back our returning programs like our youth sports recreation leagues. We have two very popular programs, our youth basketball league, which is currently happening this month at Santa Rosa Academy, and our flag football program, where we're able to offer this activity as a recreational sport to just under 650 youth in order to teach skills and team building, kind of focusing on the team component, not so much the championship, although we do enjoy a good championship. And also able to host our very first aquatics program with our partnership with Paloma Valley High School this summer, where we had over 775 participants participate in our Learn to Swim program, focusing on aquatic safety, and then also our recreation swim and lap swim programs. Not to be outdone, our Santa Sarah Senior Center has a number of activities for all different interests for our senior population, 55 and better, and we're proud to be able to offer over 20 weekly activities, and through a number of partnerships and programs, our partnership with the Family Service Association, we were able to serve just under 1,200 hot meals throughout the year to a number of our seniors looking for a place to socialize, and we're also able to distribute 11,800 food box programs through our partnership with Community Action Partnership. So kind of hoping to fill the need for our senior population, some of the gaps for socialization, wellness, healthy activities, and Santa Sarah Senior Center does a great job at doing that. We also offer a great variety of community engagement opportunities. The Community Services Department hosted 44 citywide special events, and those are things ranging from our quarterly art affair events, our annual multicultural festival, our independence celebration in partnership with the Lake Menifee Women's Club, and our end of the year Christmas tree lighting and holiday bazaar. So with that in mind, throughout the course of the year, we had over 36,000 residents attend these events. And so a lot of these events are growing year after year, and we're excited to be able to see what 2025 brings. Couple more items we wanted to highlight on the other side of our department. We have our Parks, Landscape, and Facilities Maintenance Division, and without their hard work in ensuring that our parks are in tip-top shape and that our facilities are available to our residents, Recreation and Administration wouldn't be able to do what we do. So we'd like to highlight our park rangers. We have 2 park rangers here in the city of Menifee, and between the 2 of them, they conducted almost 4,400 park site visits, ensuring safety and engagement, kind of focusing on friendly enforcement. And that's in between all of their regular summer programs like campfire programs, their annual Wildlife Appreciation Day, and some of the other programs that they assist our recreation division with. Our facilities are well used. Our parks, our facilities are extremely well used, and with that in mind, we processed over 610 rental permits, and so those are things for like our facility rentals, for birthday parties that are held at the Santa Sarah Senior Center on the weekends, or Lazy Creek Recreation Center, or picnic shelters. So again, we're glad to be able to offer this amenity to our residents. We also welcome 2 new parks to our park system, Quartz Ranch Park and Banner Village Park, bringing our total parks to 22. So it's a lot of parkland to cover. I think it's just under 116 acres throughout the city of Menifee. And then our Landscape and Facilities Maintenance Division has been very busy throughout the year, completing nearly 4,900 work work orders. So those are things from irrigation issues to, unfortunately, graffiti sometimes at our parks. But that's a number of items that they're able to go out there and fix to keep these parks up to standard. And then throughout the year, also adding or replacing over 3,000 trees and plants, just ensuring that our parks and our right-of-ways, that's the sidewalks that the city maintains and the street medians, are looking beautiful and representative of the city of Menifee. So those are just a few brief things of all the things that happen in our community services department. We do a lot. We call ourselves Community Services Plus, recreation, administration, facilities and park maintenance, right-of-way, and solid waste and recycling. So that's also us. But we're looking forward to a great 2025, continue to foster safe and inclusive community through quality amenities, engaging programs, and meaningful connections. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and continue on into what we've got coming in the next month. So for our recreation programs, we do have a number of items. We've got the return of our free tax aid and preparation services offered by AARP at the K-Center Senior Center. We're currently accepting appointments. They will take place from February 5th through April 10th on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if that's something that you or you know somebody who's interested in, we are targeting our senior population, but it is open to any Menifee resident. You can either register online at our city website or register in person at the Community Services Department or the K-Center Senior Center. I know it's technically winter, and we're not thinking about summer quite yet, but community services is. So we're currently hiring and recruiting for our lifeguards, water safety instructors, and pool managers for our aquatic season coming up in summer 2025. So if you know of a teenager or an adult who is enthusiastic about aquatics and about teaching swim lessons and water safety, we encourage you to send them over to the city website, cityofmenifee.us/jobs, to apply today. We are looking for experienced pool managers, water safety instructors, but we will take youth as young as 15 and a half, as long as they go through the certification process, and we do provide options for that. We have a couple Lazy Creek activities coming up. Our Teen Valentine's Day event for $5. Teens can come out and have a good night with our city staff. And then we have our President's Week Camp for our parents who may need a little respite from their youth. Feel free to drop them off at the Lazy Creek Center, and we'll take care of them for you during that week. So relatively nominal fee is $60 for residents and $72 for non-residents. Moving on to some of our events, we've got our first event of the year, which is our Adaptive Sports Fair, which will be taking place on Saturday, February 1st at Spirit Park from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., where we'll have a number of opportunities to participate in some sports with an adaptive twist. This is fun for all ages and all abilities, so we encourage anybody who's interested in coming out and taking a look at some of our local partnerships to ensure that we have opportunities for all of our residents, again, all ages and all abilities. Our Ready, Set, Future will be taking place on Saturday, February 8th at Lazy Creek Recreation Center from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this is hosted in conjunction with our Youth Leaders of Menifee. And this is an opportunity for teens who are looking for that next step after high school, whether it's career-oriented, college-oriented, trying to figure out what their next step is. We're here to help with that. So we encourage families and youth to come on out to Lazy Creek Recreation Center. And then the following weekend, on Saturday, February 15th, we have our first bulky item drop-off event, which will be taking place at Mount Civicento College, Menifee campus, starting at 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. or until bins are full. They do get filled relatively quickly, so we encourage you to get there early. This event is one of our larger events, so we will be accepting e-waste, so that's computers, televisions, things of that nature, as well as tires, not rims, just tires. And there will be free compost available to residents. We just ask that you bring your own container. If for whatever reason you're not in town this week for this event, we do encourage residents to take advantage of the opportunities that Waste Management provides for curbside bulk item pickup. All Menifee residents get at least 4 bulk item pickup opportunities a year. So if that's something you're interested in and not able to attend this event, please give Waste Management customer service a call, and they'll be happy to set that up for you. So this concludes my report. As always, if you're looking for additional information about community services, feel free to reach out to us via phone, our city website, cityofmenifee.us/community services, or come on down and visit us at our community services department. So that concludes my report. If there's any questions.
Thank you, Mrs. Mitchell. I do have a question, and it's about the AARP tax services. Do we have any, you mentioned it's open to more than just seniors, that you are welcoming everyone to come in. Are there any income restrictions for the AARP tax services?
As of right now, they aren't detailing any income restrictions, but they do relatively focus on simple returns. If it gets beyond the volunteer's capability, they may refer you out to additional services, but no income restrictions at this point.
All right, thank you for providing that information. Council, do we have any more questions for Mrs. Mitchell? All right, thank you, Mrs. Mitchell. I know this new year everyone's looking forward to more parks and open space, and you're going to be very important for us going forward. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to agenda item 6. No, I'm sorry, I got excited. We're on 5.3, Fire Department Quarterly Update. With the quarterly report, staff is requesting to pull this item from the agenda and schedule it for a future meeting. And that is because our fire chief, Mr. Scoville, is assisting with the fires out in Los Angeles. And for that reason, staff is requesting to reschedule this for a future meeting. Okay? Yeah, let's give Chief Scoville and our fire department a round of applause. We'll move on to agenda item 6. This is agenda approval or modifications. Madam Clerk, are there any additional modifications to tonight's agenda?
Yes, staff is requesting to pull item 11.1, the public hearing item, from the agenda.
Okay, we will pull 11.1. Can I ask for all in favor to approve the agenda as modified? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda is approved as modified. We're going to now move on to agenda item 7, public comments. This is on non-agenda items. Madam Clerk, are there any public comments on non-agenda items?
We do.
Okay, great. Since we do, I will read the statement beforehand. This is the time for members of the public to address the council about items which are not listed on the agenda. The Ralph M. Brown Act limits the council's ability to respond to the comments on non-agendized matters at the time such comments are made. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes on any single item. With that said, Madam Clerk, can you please call the first speaker?
Lisa Sobek, followed by Ed Samuelson.
Okay, welcome, Ms. Sobek.
Good evening, Council, and Happy New Year, staff, residents. A couple things I'd like to bring to your attention and one request. One is I would like to ask if the City Council can make sure there's a representative attending the Southwest Higher Education Coalition. They meet on the third Tuesday at 1 p.m. They rotate between the Marietta Community Center and the Marietta Library. It's very important that we have a representative there to know what's going on about bringing the higher education into Southwest Riverside County. Also, I attended my first meeting this morning for Menifee Better Together. I'd like everyone to put that on their calendar. That will be April 26th on Saturday. Habitat is looking at doing 20 to 25 home revitalizations in our senior community. Plus, we're looking at other projects throughout the city. One of them being right now is the revitalization of the Coronavirus and Memorial Garden at Central Park. The third thing I'd like to mention and ask for a request. I was at the first meeting where council member, why is his name going away? Sun City, before you. Greg.
August.
I was at the first meeting where Greg August, at a budget meeting, where he requested the first money to be set aside for the Bradley Road Bridge. And I always teased him that it should be called the Greg August Memorial Bridge, and he said, no way. But as a city that is a city of heroes, and our veterans are very important, and our current military women, I would like to ask the council if they would consider talking and having a discussion about calling the Bradley Road Veteran Bridge. And that would be my request.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Sobek. Mr. Samuelson?
Followed by Jackie Steed.
Good evening, council members, Dinas, Carwin, and Temple. My comments are directed towards Mr. Estrada. The first meeting in November, I asked you to give a presentation on your cutting wasteful spending, identifying what you say is wasteful spending and how much does it equal. Because you say we could use that in place of DD to fund the police, fire, and some infrastructure. To date, you have provided nothing, no facts. So how are we to believe that your claim of wasteful spending in the budget is true? In fact, how are we to believe anything you say now because you've provided nothing to support your claim? I think you owe the people of the city an apology, and especially the members of the city staff, for making a claim that they are wastefully spending city money. If it was me, I'd be embarrassed. So we'll see what comes further, because it was right here on your social media site.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Samuelson. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next speaker?
Jackie Steed, followed by Aiko Holdway.
Welcome, Mrs. Steed.
Good evening, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here on behalf of Habitat for Humanity Inland Valley, just to share a bit about the work that we do, providing pathways to homeownership, preserving homes through repairs, offering financial education, and operating our restores, which directly support our mission to build strength and stability through shelter. I'm also here to invite you to a special event honoring the extraordinary legacy of President Jimmy Carter and his wife, Rosalind. Their volunteerism has transformed communities worldwide and inspired countless individuals to serve. Please join us on Friday, January the 24th at 9 a.m. It is going to be at our Habitat for Humanity Inland Valley Design Center located at 28410 Vincent Morago Drive in Temecula. At that event, you'll have the chance to sign a symbolic door representing how the Carter's efforts opened doors for thousands of families to build or renovate homes since 1984. This event will also feature an open forum to share reflections on their lasting impact, and RSVPs can be sent to casey@habitativ.org. President Carter and Rosalind have truly embedded in the DNA of Habitat for Humanity. Thanks to their leadership, nearly 5,000 families became homeowners, and their work continues to inspire. We'd be honored to have you to celebrate with us. Thank you for your time and support.
Thank you, Mrs. Steed. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next speaker?
Aiko, followed by Beatriz Aguilar.
Welcome, Mrs. Aiko.
Good evening, council members. My name is Aiko Nicole Holdaway, and I am the Temecula Site Supervisor of the Safe Family Justice Centers, where we are home to the Riverside County Police Activities League, also known as PAL. I'm here to celebrate National Mentoring Month and highlight the transformative impact of mentorship through PAL. The PAL program has been a cornerstone of youth mentorship here in the Temecula Valley for 20 years. What makes this especially significant is that the Menifee Police Department joined our PAL when they formed their department, laying the foundation for what is now Riverside County PAL. Today, this program continues to thrive, connecting youth ages 5 to 17 with caring mentors who inspire, guide, and support their growth at no cost to them or their families. PAL is about more than just mentorship. It's about exposure and opportunity. Through the program, youth have visited local museums, attractions, sporting events, Sacramento, DC, and cultural landmarks. These experiences introduce young people to new possibilities and broaden their understanding of the world and their place in it. But there's still a critical need for mentorship. Roughly 1 in 3 young people grow up without a mentor, a gap that leaves millions without a supportive adult to encourage their potential or guide them through life's challenges. This mentoring gap highlights the urgent need for programs like PAL. The impact of closing this gap is profound. Research shows that mentored youth are 55% more likely to enroll in college, 78% more likely to volunteer in their communities, 46% less likely to use drugs, 52% less likely to skip a day of school, and 81% more likely to participate in extracurricular activities. Additionally, 60% of young adults live within 10 miles of where they grew up, and 80% stay within 100 miles. This means the investments we make in mentoring local youth will have a lasting and direct impact on our community for generations to come. Over 13% of the youth we serve reside in the city of Menifee. I also want to give a special recognition to Menifee PD's own officer, Kudian, who has dedicated himself as a mentor in our program. These numbers are more than statistics. They're a testament to the power of mentorship. PAL transforms lives, turning young people into leaders, role models, and contributors to the community. If you'd like to learn more about our PAL program, you can visit our website at safefjc.org to explore the work we do and how you can get involved. As we celebrate National Mentoring Month, I invite you to reflect on the legacy of PAL here in the Temecula Valley and the incredible difference it has made over the past 20 years. Together, we can continue to bridge the mentoring gap and create a brighter future for our youth and our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next speaker?
Beatriz Aguilar, followed by Hugo Divers.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My concern lies with the weed abatement for Romo land. When will the city of Menifee address the issue of property owners failing to maintain their properties? There are parcels of land with 3 to 6 foot tall brush growing unchecked, posing a fire hazard and eyesore in the community. It is imperative that the owners take responsibility for their properties and ensure they are properly maintained to uphold the standards of the neighborhood. I haven't seen code enforcement enforce it. I have continuously done reports through the Menifee app. I also wanted a clarification from our city manager, Mr. Villa, on the following terms: open, resolved, and closed, because I'm getting different definitions of what they imply when my cases are closed, but I still pass through there and I still see it not being resolved. The area where I've reached out is where we reside. We have the electric high voltage power towers of Edison. Edison is not maintaining their property. Neither are the developers that are going to develop behind Watson Road, Davis, Romo Farms, through the 74. I hope that our District 4 can pass by tomorrow, hopefully, and you'll see that those parcels, those tumbleweeds, I'm 5'4". I can actually hide in them, and there's also not a 100-foot clearance from our property gates to where those weeds are growing, and I've continuously put in requests for it to be abated, and it's not being done. And I know that it rains sometimes, so it's not like Riverside County says just one-time abatement. It's continuous. I know when our former mayor, Neil Winters, he was very, with all due respect, very good. I would see code enforcement out there enforcing it, doing it themselves, and then, billing whoever it was. But I'm very concerned about that Watson, especially with all the fires, and we have the big towers within 500 feet of our homes. And there's people that just pass through there doing donuts and stuff like that, and if they hit one of those towers, a spark, I'm sorry to say, but I think our homes will be gone, and I just wanted for you not to overlook Romo land. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Aguilar. Your concerns are heard, and we want you to know that we care about your community and Romo land. We have our Chief Carr in the back. We'd like to ask him to clarify any questions you've had and give you that personal touch, okay? Okay. If you can please walk towards the back, please, and he'll be able to share his business card with you. Thank you very much. Okay. Madam Clerk, can you please introduce our next speaker?
Hugo Divers, followed by Bruce Atwood.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mayor, for giving me the opportunity to speak. In light of all the current events, wildfires and power interruptions, dynamic weather in Southern California, across the region, there's levels of impact. I guess the question would be, I know that I was shared some emergency action plans and things of that nature. I know in other states and cities, those are kind of more available as far as signage, knowing where you need to go. I know that there's areas in certain places like hurricane or like volcano areas where resources are set along those predetermined emergency evacuation or emergency situations. Is just basically asking for the people of Menifee, if that's something that's being looked into, more or less the signage of where we would get these resources in the event one of these unforeseen events happen. What schools are capable of handling fallout shelter, and what's the population back on the East Coast? Every school that's capable of handling a crisis has that placard on the school, so that you know what school is capable. You could spend your last bit of gas getting to a place that you think is a resource and it's not. So with that being said, I love this city. I want to help improve it with some of the ideas that we have as citizens, and in light of this current situation going on in the Palisades, regulatory fire hydrant inspections, making sure that our reservoirs are in good working order, and then we touched on the weed abatement and getting into a regulatory type of feel for that. I hope that the city is looking into that in light of all these situations that's going on around us. And thank you for your time. Oh, last thing, I did have it in my notes. I wanted to say thank you to and you said it, we have our fire chief up and fighting these fires right now. Big applause to him. He's up there risking his life. I'm pretty sure we got some other firemen up there as well. Probably some police officers helping out with some of that stuff up there. So shout out to our local Menifee first responders. I'm pretty sure we got some paramedics up there and stuff like that volunteering. So shout out to those first responders from the city of Menifee that's helping out California right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Bruce Atwood, followed by Monica Carley.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. I only have a quick thing. I moved here 10 years ago to Menifee, not knowing anything about the, sorry. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. Anyway, I was to move to Menifee and to see this town, how it's growing, and how the people react to everybody. I mean, when we're in need, the people stand up and help. And then to start learning about the history of Menifee and the people that, brought the city together, I just want to say is that I would really like to have, I know it's premature, but I'd really like to have the council think about in our new building in City Hall, that we would bring all the history that's in the building out there be put into our City Hall, the way other cities are proud of their people that have, made Menifee so big and great, is that they be honored in maybe a foyer or something like that, to bring all that information and people about our history into the City Hall. So that's all I have. I know it's early, premature, but if you'd think about it, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Atwood.
Monica Carley, followed by Michael Knighton.
Hi, good evening.
Mayor Estrada and Menifee City Council members and all those who are in attendance this evening. My name is Monica Barola Carley. I am the current Vice President for Arts Council Menifee and representative for tonight. This past Friday evening at the Center for Spiritual Living in Menifee Valley, Arts Council Menifee launched our first 2025 music and art event called Art Beat Menifee. First, a big shout out to my committee members, Tony Reverdito, Andrea Carley, and Greg Conte, as well as the rest of our board of trustees for all of their hard work. It was a family-friendly event with over 100 plus people from Menifee and surrounding areas attending. The event was filled with jazz music, food, vendors, artists, and artisans. Andrea Carley and the Jazztronauts filled the center with toe-tapping, fun-filled, improvisational jazz music, which provided an atmosphere of enjoyment and relaxation. Nini's Barbecue provided fabulous food, while our local artists and artisans supplied beautiful art to view and to purchase. Next, we would like to give a special thank you to our City Council member, Bob Carwin. We were thrilled to see you and your wife at the Art Beat Menifee and appreciate you taking your own personal time to experience and be a part of the vibrant music and art scene that happened that evening. The event was a resounding success, and your willingness to be our opening MC for the music and art event helped make it even more special. On behalf of the Arts Council Menifee, we would like to extend our sincerest gratitude for your generous personal donation at the recent Art Beat Menifee music and art event. Your support is invaluable to our mission of promoting and fostering the arts within our community. Your contribution will directly impact our ability to be able to host more community events like Art Beat Menifee that make music and art accessible to all. Thank you again, City Council Member Carwin, for your commitment to the music and arts in Menifee. We deeply appreciate your partnership in making our community a more creative and vibrant place. In conclusion, Arts Council Menifee is a nonprofit organization, so we appreciate each and every person who supports our efforts. We look forward to providing many more music and art events for our Menifee community. You can find us at artscouncilmenifee.org if you're interested in any of our events or donating to our cause. And all it takes is music, art, and a dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Carley.
Michael Knighton.
Welcome, Mr. Knighton.
I'm going to make this quick. As outgoing member, chairman of Measure DD Quality of Life Committee, I just want to welcome Phil to the committee and Sarah. I don't know who Sarah is. Hi, welcome. And I want to thank Bill for the trust and you know, looking when he appointed me 3 years ago. I'm glad you're here. But I also want to thank some other people. I want to thank Arthur King Ma, who decided he wanted to resign and gave me the position. So thank you, Arthur. Dr. Kano, I want to thank him for taking me under his wing and explaining the whole thing to me 3 years ago over at the Mexican restaurant. So that was great of him. I want to thank my friend over there, Ed Samuelson. We were only on there for a short period of time, but I appreciate that time. June, I want to thank you. You're the only person I ever seen that showed up to a Measure DD committee as a member of the public. And the next time you came over, you were a member. So, so Bob, you must have saw something too in her. John, I saw John earlier, John Standish. I don't know if he left or not, but I want to thank John Standish, Michael Ramlogan. I haven't seen him in a while. And then lastly, Mr. Tuxedo, Laz Peterson. He showed up to Measure DD meeting in his tuxedo. It was great. I told him we can dress down a little bit, but I just want to thank everybody who was involved for the past 3 years. And Armando, pay attention, dude. Just want to let you know I'm not going anywhere. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knighton.
No other speakers.
No other speakers? Okay, great. Thank you for everyone who made a public comment today. We will now move on to agenda item 8, council member updates and comments. This is the time for the city council to provide any updates or comments on meetings and events they have attended. Mr. Temple, you will have the pleasure of starting us off.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 30th, I attended with, I think, everybody on this stand, the lighting of the menorah at the K. Sinicero Center. On January 7th, I attended the Menifee Interfaith Council meeting. On the 9th, I attended a Milvet packing event. And then yesterday, I attended the Student of the Month of the Paris High School District.
Thank you very much, Councilman Temple. We'll move on to Councilmember Dynas.
Thank you. Since our last meeting, I attended the Riverside Transit Agency's T-Now annual luncheon, where each of the different districts that makes up the T-Now made their presentation as to what they accomplished during the year. On the 19th then, I attended the RTA Board of Directors meeting. Along with the rest of the council, attended the menorah lighting. Then in January, I attended the RTA Administration Operations meeting. And then on the 10th, I attended the ribbon cutting for the Starbucks in District 4. So it was nice to see our district growing. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Dynas. Mayor Pro Tem Carwin.
Thank you. As it's been said, we all attended the wonderful menorah lighting and Hanukkah celebration at K. Sinicero Center. We were grateful to do it. We need a taller ladder for next year because for some reason they decided to get a 12-foot high menorah that was sort of a Tom Cruise challenge to light the menorah, but Rabbi Abrams managed to make it happen, and the mayor got to light the middle candle. I represented the city at the RCTC board meeting, which a lot of transportation projects are being talked about there, including the success of the 91 express lanes that were widened out. Represented the city at our Rotary Club meeting. I attended the WRCOG strategic planning session on Friday, which sets the agenda and items that we're going to be looking forward to coming up in the next year. As was mentioned very nicely, I attended the Arts Council Menifee Jazz Concert event, which was a tremendous, resounding success. And I pointed out to everybody who was there, everybody who says there's nothing to do in the city of Menifee. There was like 110 people at this jazz concert, and you just come in, and it was free, and there was barbecue and stuff. There's lots of things to do in the city of Menifee. In an emergency basis, there was a call for volunteers by our community cupboard to come out and pack food packages for Quail Valley residents. They were out of power for some of them up to 3 days, and they lost all of their groceries and everything with school starting. So we packed food packages that were delivered to Quail Valley Elementary School. That was incredible. In 1 hour, we knocked it out and got them all packed together. It was a great community effort. Commissioner Diedrich was there as well. And then just this morning, I attended the Sun City Cruisers Cars with Coffee event at Joyful Noise. Got to see some wonderful cars and have some wonderful conversations. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Hey, Tom Cruise is a successful actor. He overcomes those challenges pretty well. So I'll go ahead and start with my mayor updates. During the holidays, I went to the Quail Valley Santa's Workshop. That's a great cause that many volunteers here in Menifee take part in. A lot of toys and gift cards go to underprivileged and underserved children in our community. And the way we verify that is working with our school district to make sure that these families and these children qualify and that we can make them feel welcomed and give them a Christmas that's memorable. You know, during the holidays, it could be a challenging time for many, and this is a bright spot in our city. The next thing, I participated during the holidays with the Sun City Cruisers Parade. That was a lot of fun. I got to ride with the president down Sun City Boulevard, and they light up and trick out all of their old school cars with lights, and we wave to all the seniors. We go into the senior homes, and we sing carols and donate socks and clothing to keep them warm. It's really rewarding participating in stuff like that, especially because we know our seniors, can kind of get a little bit lonely. And to be honest, it goes a long way when you show up and have a simple conversation with them. Towards the end of the year, we took part in the menorah lighting. I believe the entire council was there. It was a lot of fun. We showed a lot of camaraderie. And as far as events, that concludes my report. But as far as public comments, and I do think it is important that I address a lot of concerns for our Menifee residents, especially during these times of power outages. I've gotten a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and I want to let our residents know Menifee is prepared. During that time, Menifee had generators at our police department, here at City Hall, and we had backup generators for our large intersections, such as Newport and Hahn. So we did a great job filling in the holes with the problems Southern California Edison was having. And I want our residents to know you can rest assured, staff here at City Hall and our police department, we're fully operational, prepared, and our police department has a permanent generator installed there. The public should know that police department will always be fully operational, it has power, and law and order will be kept intact. So we will be safe with the police department. The other thing I want the public to know is we here at City Hall were placed on a status called management alert. When a situation happens like this, when a utility company has bumps in the road, the city then initiates management alert. That is a phase before any state of emergency comes in place. During management alert, we have our emergency response team working, the police department, the fire department, our city executive staff, to make sure we fill in all the holes or deficiencies from these public utility companies. I want the public to know the city of Menifee does not control the electricity. That is Southern California Edison. And Southern California Edison and Sacramento will have a lot of questions, and the residents all around California will demand answers. But as far as your local level of governance, we were fully operational, and law and order was intact. We even had our police department patrolling areas we identified were out of electricity to make sure our residents had adequate protection, avoiding looters, avoiding people taking advantage of the lights being out. So we here at City Hall are aware, and we are watching all of the blackouts and power outages, and we respond and adapt accordingly. Speaking of emergencies, I think it's really important to also promote here at the City of Menifee, we have a free Lifesavers program. Should an emergency arise, you have the opportunity through the city to be fully trained up. We have classes that offer CPR, automated external defibrillator courses, basic first aid, bleeding control, and these courses are free for all of you. In an emergency situation, you should be prepared and be ready to go. Hey, after this, we all learned you can't be too prepared. So you can sign up for those classes at cityofmenifee.us.cpr. And these are all free to you, and you can enhance your knowledge and be a little bit more prepared. Okay? I think that is all I have to say on our emergency response. No, Menifee is working really hard, and we have an eye on everything. Okay? Okay. Next, we will move on to agenda item 9, approval of the minutes. There are 2 sets of minutes for the council's approval. Madam Clerk, are there any modifications to the minutes?
The council has a memo in their red folders for the special 6 p.m. meeting with an amended minutes to take into consideration.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I ask the council for all in favor of approving the December 17th, 2024, 4 p.m. special and 6 p.m. special meeting minutes as modified? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay. We will now move on to the consent calendar. All matters on the consent calendar are to be approved in one motion unless a council member requests a separate action on a specific item on the consent calendar. If an item is removed from the consent calendar, it will be discussed individually and acted upon separately. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak on consent calendar items?
No requests.
No requests? Okay, thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Council, are there any items we wish to pull for further discussion?
Move to approve the consent calendar.
Okay, one quick second.
Second.
One quick second, Mayor Pro Tem. I was just giving everyone a second to voice any requests. I would like to pull 10.5 and 10.6, please. Can I get a motion and a second to approve the balance on the consent calendar?
Motion to approve the balance.
Second.
Okay, that passes 4-0. All right. I would like a presentation from staff, please, on 10.5.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Carlos Geronimo. I'm the CIP manager for the Capital Improvement Program. Let's see. So the first item here before you is the Garbani Road Drainage Improvements Project, CIP 2509. Okay. So this project is located on Garbani Road, next to Menifee Valley Middle School. So currently there's an Arizona crossing that conveys water from one side of the road to the other on the surface level. The roadway experiences flooding often, which creates a hazard to motorists and pedestrians. The city's master drainage plan identified this crossing as a priority project due to inundations of over a foot in depth during the 50 and 100-year storm events. Okay, so here's a picture of the existing conditions of the site. You can see the Arizona crossing there on the right side in the picture, looking east towards Garbani. Okay. So the project basically will address these issues, safety issues, by installing a culvert under the roadway, and that will handle the 100-year summer events. In November 2022, the city applied for funding through the Riverside County Flood Control and Water Conservation District and capital program. The district funded $674,000 towards this project, which are slated for the construction phase of the project, which are programmed for fiscal year 25-26. So we're going to start the design this year, and next fiscal year we'll implement the construction of the project with flood controls funding. The project scope is in line with RCFCD's goals and objectives to mitigate storm drain infrastructure deficiencies throughout the region. It's important to note that this funding is specific to drainage improvements only. We applied for that, and Flood Control District approved our application to mitigate these conditions at this site. So here is a conceptual plan drawing of what we intend to do. Installing a culvert under the roadway. We're going to elevate the roadway a little bit in order to install this culvert, and which will connect one side to the other side. Okay. And with that, the city in November of 2024, we released a request for proposal for design of this project. The city received 2 proposals which are summarized in this table. TKE Engineering, after negotiating, was selected as the firm to proceed with design on this project. Staff recommends awarding the design of the contract to TKE Engineering. With that, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
All right, thank you, Carlos. My question for you is, can you please clarify what the Arizona barrier you have over Garbani, can you explain what that is exactly?
Sure. I want to go back to the picture on the slide. Arizona Crossing is just the name for a, oh, there we go. Let me go back to that slide. Oh, there we go. No, it went back too far. So this is what we call an Arizona Crossing. It's just basically an apron, and it's low at the middle. So it just conveys water from one side to the other. It's sort of a surface drainage facility, you can call it, and it's just conveys water all over the roadway. That's all it is.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Council, any other questions of staff? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, any requests to speak?
There are none.
All right. So I really wanted to highlight this and present this to the public, especially today, because we have a new District 2 vacancy that could be potentially filled either at this meeting or the next meeting. And this crosswalk right here is a very hot topic for Menifee residents and a very hot topic for District 2 residents. Over the past couple years at the City Council, we've brought this area to light because it doesn't have an existing sidewalk for the children to get from that intersection at the west at Marietta and Garbani to their middle school. So I wanted to highlight the importance of this, give District 2 council members, future District 2 council members a background and say, hey, Menifee residents in District 2 care about this. The safety of the children is a concern. We've been trying to address it for a couple years and highlight the importance of school safety. I would also like to drop the seed in our heads that this could be a potential capital improvement plan improvement to bring more safety for our children at Menifee Valley Middle. Okay, any other comments from the council? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, that passes. The next item is item 10.6. May I have a presentation on that, please?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so waiting for the presentation to be up on the screen. Here we go. Okay. So this presentation is for the McCall Boulevard, Sun City Boulevard westbound Turnpike Extension Project, CIP 2402. Okay. So this project is located at the intersection of these two roadways, turning southbound from McCall onto Sun City Boulevard. Currently, the existing left turn pocket at this intersection does not have the capacity to store a significant number of vehicles. I think it only has capacity for 4, maybe 5 vehicles, which spills onto the through lanes of McCall going westbound, and that creates bottlenecks and also presents a potential for conflicts and accidents. Okay. So here's a picture of what it represents better with this intersection. You can see there's already 5 cars, a 6th car, it's already in the through lane. And this is what this project is going to address, that spill onto the main line. Okay. So what we're proposing is to pretty much double that left turn pocket, create another 100 foot of storage, so approximately 10 to 11 cars can sit there and wait in the queue to turn left. So this will address those potential hazards from the bottleneck and the spillage onto the main line. And also that's presented during the, mainly at traffic, at peak time hours. So this project was identified in a capital program as a priority project, and we are recommending approval of this project. In October 2024, the city held a public bid opening, and 3 bidders proposed to this project. Here we have a table summarizing those bidders, and the lowest apparent bidder was Onyx Paving Company. After carefully reviewing the bid documents, the city determined that this contractor is responsive and responsible in all aspects. So staff recommends award this project to Onyx Paving Company. So with that, do you have any questions that I may answer?
Thank you, Mr. Geronimo. Does council have any other questions of staff? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, any requests to speak?
There are none.
There are none? Okay. The reason I pulled this item was because it is important to highlight this busy intersection. IT, can you please pull up that photo from, I think it was slide 2, that shows the intersection of McCall and Sun City? Mayor Pro Tem Carwin, you're in the queue. Go ahead.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to, since we pulled the item, I want to make sure everybody knows that this project was brought to me by June Conant, who is the Measure DD committee member. She actually drew it on a napkin and brought it to me at City Hall here at one of the meetings and said, hey, can we do this? And I said, that's really a great, easy, simple idea. And we presented that to the public works staff, and they said, yeah, we could totally carve into that thing and make some more space. And so I just want to make sure that people know that, please, if you have solutions, come to us. We're open to them, and this is exactly one. It was literally brought to me on a napkin, and now it's about to be completed a year and a half later, just like that. And then also, since we're on here, in this photograph, you see across the street in front of the Chase Bank, there are 3 cars that are parked there on the curb. That's now painted red. In order to facilitate this, I was wondering if we could add to this project the installation of a no parking sign right there now that it's painted red, so people know that they're not supposed to park there.
Yeah.
Because there's tire marks all along the red paint, along that curb. So I think maybe a sign letting people know that we're serious is something there.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This is a very busy intersection. Of course, McCall Freeway is on the CIP. That interchange is on the CIP to get expanded. But many seniors in Sun City, and frankly, all of us here in Menifee go into that Cherry Hill Shopping Center to get our pharmacy aid. There's all the great unique restaurants there. And so I think it's very important that we highlight the improvements we're making to that intersection. And we are going to alleviate some of the bottlenecking. I also want the residents to know construction on this is scheduled to begin in February. Is that correct, Mr. Geronimo?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Scheduled to begin in February, so heads up when you're planning to go into that Cherry Hill Shopping Center, keep that in mind. And I think the project would be built out within 2 months. Was it March or April, Mr. Geronimo?
Yeah, that timeline, it's 60 days only. So.
All right, so we'll try to make it as least painful as possible for all of us and get that done in a couple of months. But please share that information with your friends and family that we're working on alleviating traffic, alleviating the bottlenecking, and to plan accordingly when you're going to that shopping center. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Geronimo.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve? I'll go ahead and make the motion, actually, and can I get a second?
I'll second.
I apologize, council. Sorry, it's loading. If I can do a roll call vote.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Dynas,
Yes.
Councilmember Temple,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carwin,
Yes.
and Mayor Estrada.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. This would normally be the time for agenda item 11, public hearings, but we did vote to pull that item for tonight. So that then moves us to agenda item 12, discussion items. This is where the council will fulfill its committee and commission appointments. Madam Clerk, can you please introduce the item?
Yes, good evening, council. I have a short presentation, if IT can bring that up. So good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Stephanie Racine, City Clerk, and I am here to provide a presentation on the Council's committee and commission appointments and our biennial recruitment. So I did want to take a moment to discuss the importance of our committees and commissions. Our members play a critical role in city decision-making. Committees and commissions also provide opportunities for community members to contribute to the development of city policies and events. These bodies help ensure diverse perspectives are represented in the city. And lastly, they help strengthen the connection between our residents and our local government. Every 2 years, which runs concurrent with the city's general municipal election, the City Clerk Department holds a biennial recruitment. This recruitment is a call for applications to fill seats for anticipated expired terms of our committee and commissioners. This year, the city's committee members serve a 2-year term, while our commissioners serve a 4-year term. There are no term limits for either of them. The call for applications opened on October 14th, and the deadline to submit was November 22nd. Applications were accepted for all of our committees and commissions, and the city received 69 applications. For the qualifications, the City Clerk Department verified all minimum qualifications were met prior to the submission of the applications to the City Council. So for the application and review of appointment, the applications were provided to the City Council back in December 17th, 2024 for their review. The council may determine whether or not to use the application process in making their appointments. Council members elected this past November will appoint all of their committee and commissioners, while our council member that is in the middle of their term only will be looking to appoint their committee members. So the recommended action tonight is for our council members to appoint their members. And then following the announcement of council's appointments, the newly appointed members will be asked to join me at the front of the dais to be sworn in. And with that, I'm available for any questions from the council.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Council, do we have any questions? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak? And has correspondence been received?
No correspondence has been received, and there are no public comments.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. So now we're going to move on to the portion where I'd like to ask my colleagues to introduce and announce their appointments. And if you'd like, share a few words. We can go ahead and start with Mayor Pro Tem Carwin.
Thank you very much, and the nominees are so I've got a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals to fill 6 spots. One person's going to do double duty here. I want to acknowledge that my planning commissioner appointment, Jeff Ledoux, who was the most recent chair of the planning commission, he opted to resign. He said he had fulfilled what he was looking to get out of the planning commission, and thanked everybody for the opportunity. I think he served our city well, and we're sad to lose his leadership and experience. But I think we're going to be well served by my new appointment, the former assistant city manager for the city of Murrieta, Ivan Holler. He will be my planning commissioner. I'm going to reappoint to the Parks, Recreation, and Trails Commission, Mauricio Sanchez. Mo's done an excellent job, and keep moving forward in that way. Also going to reappoint to Quality of Life Measure DD, June Conant, who I just shouted out as responsible for that last agenda item. So she's contributing in many different ways. And serving on both Senior Advisory and Menifee Citizens Advisory Committee, a newbie to the city, Tracy Pearson, who is going to be joining us in those capacities. And then moving over from Senior Advisory Committee at her request to the Veterans and Military Families Advisory Committee is Linda Blanche, who is very active with our VFW and military. And I think I'm very pleased with the group of applicants we got, and I'm very proud to announce these as my appointees.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Carwin. Also, after this, I think it'd be great if each council member after they are sworn in, to take a photo with their appointees. So be prepared for that, all of our new and returning committee appointments. Let's move on to Councilmember Dynas. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. As Madam Clerk had mentioned, my Planning Commissioner and Parks and Rec Commissioner are still in the middle of their terms, so I did not have to fill them or reappoint them. But I did do the Quality of Life Committee. I reappointed John Standish. I appreciate your time and willingness to serve again. The staff report had different names here on my Senior Advisory Committee and Menifee Citizens Advisory Committee, but there was changes on that out of necessity. I will be appointing Gloria Sanchez to the Senior Advisory Committee, and that way we will be able to keep the wealth of knowledge and wisdom that she brings to it continuing on. So, not to build you up or put any pressure on you, Gloria, you still got to perform here, okay?
Do we need to take back our Citizen of the Year
Yeah,
award?
well, only she doesn't perform.
Okay.
The Menifee Citizens Advisory Committee was Anne Marie Novak, and I want to thank her. She was my appointee from the Senior Advisory Committee, and she did a great job. She always kept me up to date and informed as to what was going on and different events going on. So thank you so much. And I know you'll bring the same good hard work to the Advisory Committee. Thank you so much for that. And for my Veterans and Family Military Families Advisory Committee, I'll be appointing Ed Samuelson, a veteran. So, and that are my appointments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Dynas. We'll move on to Councilmember Temple.
Well, I just want to say thank you, first of all, to all the people that put in applications to serve. It was really neat to see a thick binder of people from Menifee that want to do things, and so many people that were more than qualified, who wanted to give without compensation, with very little recognition, who wanted to serve. So I was so appreciative of that, and learned something new about, once again, the desire and willingness of people in Menifee to serve. So for all who applied, I would say thank you, and these were my appointments. For the Planning Commission, Chris Thomas. For the Parks and Recreation and Trails Commission, David Faust. Quality of Life Major DD Committee, Phil Durner. Senior Advisory Committee, Bruce Atwood. Menifee Citizens Advisory Committee, Karniel Mudahar. And Veterans and Military Families Advisory Committee, Camilo Gutierrez. Marine. That is it.
I will now share my appointments. I would also like to thank everyone who applied. It's very important that we have civic engagement from everyone. I made phone calls, even outside of that thick binder that Councilmember Temple described, to give a plethora of views an opportunity to share their perspective. When I made these decisions, I decided it's healthy that we have more participation, hear outside voices, because the honest truth sometimes is, I'm very happy that we have great participation today, but sometimes I believe it's a revolving door, and I think it's healthy in a city of almost 20,000 residents now that we bring in diverse views and views from different families and give other residents an opportunity to participate and share their opinions on these committees. So I would like to start off with my Planning Commissioner, Tammy Ramirez. Tammy Ramirez has a master's in planning, and she had a minor in economic development and affordable housing. I have full confidence that she'll be able to jump into the position, and she will be well prepared. For my Parks and Recreations Commission, I am appointing Laz Peterson. He has currently served in that capacity for the past 2 years. He's a father of 5. He goes to all of the community services events. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of them. And his family is very well involved, and he keeps a good eye on everything going on in the city, and he brings healthy discussions to that commission. For my Quality of Life Measure DD position, I am appointing Sarah Hakala. She is a Marine Corps veteran, a mother of two, and she's part of the board of directors at her HOA, so she keeps an eye on budgets and is about strong public safety, and so I look forward to appointing her there. For my senior advisory committee, I'm appointing Charmaine Summers. Charmaine was part of the management team over at the Sun City Cherry Hills Golf Course, and Charmaine has many deep roots in that community. She knows many people. She's on the ground there talking to all the seniors there in Sun City, coming in and out of that golf course. And so I think her grassroots knowledge will be very beneficial. For my Menifee Citizens Advisory Committee, I'm appointing Lillian Montoya. Lillian has a master's in nursing. She's a 20-year resident, and she's very family orientated. So I look forward to her offering her fresh perspective. And for my Veterans and Military Families Advisory Committee, I am appointing Al Maybeno. He is a Army, Navy, and National Guard officer. He was an officer in our military, and he's involved in many veterans groups throughout our city. And so I think he'll bring extensive knowledge to that appointment. Okay, great. Next, I would like to call up the Madam Clerk to the podium. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Dinas, you were in the queue.
I want to appreciate the fact that you did at least get one Army guy in there to serve. Too many Marines and Navy. Got to balance it out.
We got to switch it up.
Never too many Marines.
All right, thank you, Councilman Dinas. I'll call up our city clerk to please come up to the front, and I would like to ask all of our appointees to come on up to take the oath. Come on up, don't be shy.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Hey, I'm looking for you. Got it. I look forward to it.
They're all going up. Yeah, they're all. Edna is passing out the oath of office for you all to follow along with. All right. Is everyone ready to follow along? All right, if I can have everyone raise their right hands, and you're going to repeat after me. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Thank you all.
All right, council, we're going to stand up right behind you. I also know Phil Sutherland was getting some good photos of everyone who swore in right now, so that's great. But our council will be, we're going to be in between the new appointees, so make a little bit of room and we'll get a photo. All right, congratulations, everybody. Okay, looks like everybody is settled back in and comfy in their seats. We're going to move on to 12.2, appointment of the City of Menifee District 2 City Council vacancy. Madam Clerk, can you please introduce the item?
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Stephanie Racine, City Clerk, again. Tonight, I'm here to discuss the appointment to the District 2 vacancy. So the vacancy was created for District 2 City Council seat with the certification of the 2024 general municipal election. On December 17th, 2024, the City Council voted to fill that vacancy by an appointment process. The City Council requested an appointment process include a statement of interest be submitted by interested District 2 residents. Additionally, questions were submitted by the council for the applicants to consider and provide a statement to the council at the special meeting held tonight. The applicant forum was held this evening at 4 p.m. The deadline for the council to appoint per government code is February 15th. If the council cannot reach a majority vote by then, they will need to call for a special election to be held for November 2025. The term of the appointee would end December of 2026 with the certification of the November election. Tonight, the recommended action is for the council to appoint a resident of District 2 to serve for the remainder of the term. If a majority vote is not reached, the council may continue the item to the February 5th City Council meeting. A motion and second followed by a majority vote would be required for the appointment. If consensus is reached, swearing in of the new council member would take place at the February 5th meeting. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Council, do we have any questions of staff at this time? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak or has any correspondence been received?
No correspondence has been received and no speakers.
Okay. Does the council have, well, wow, I was hoping someone would speak up. I mean,
No
this is a big
request to speak.
deal.
Okay, I'm going to come to
All
you
right.
from 24 hours in the future when Menifee 24/7 posts a story on this and everyone goes, why didn't we know about it? How come we don't have our say? That was it. That was the time for people to come and yell at us about what we're about to do. So just want to make sure everybody knows that they had the opportunity.
That is the perfect disclaimer. Okay, since there are no questions, now I'll move it behind the dais. And this is our time to discuss. All right, Councilman Carwin, you never fail to go first. We can always depend on you.
I was being really slow to the button, hoping somebody else would go first. So I will first say that we had 7 people speak today, and they were all pretty formidable candidates. I thought was really impressed with everyone who spoke. And that's not just platitude. I mean, we really had some solid people who came out who really were prepared and had a lot to say and seemed to have a lot of agendas. So the separation for me was I heard several people who seemed like they had less knowledge of the working of the city and would take a little bit longer to get up to speed on things, and we really need at this time somebody who knows what they're doing. I was impressed by Planning Commissioner Ben Diedrich. He's been on the Planning Commission for 6 years, and a lot of the projects we're going to be seeing on City Council will have gone through his eyes, and he knows about the general plan, about development factors, about the standards, the development laws, urban planning, all of those things that everybody keeps saying that growth and traffic and all those things are so important. That's exactly his base of knowledge. He's been a resident in Menifee for a long time. He's shown his dedication. He's a member of Rotary, member of Chamber of Commerce, and And then when it comes down to dedication, he did run for District 2, and he came in second. So the person who came in first isn't there anymore. That's you. And so the person who came in second is not an illogical choice. So my recommendation, I don't think we're doing nominations yet, but just discussion-wise, my nomination would be Ben Diedrich.
Okay, thank you, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem Carwin. Councilman Dynas.
Yes, looking at that, I mean, you got to hand it to all the applicants. They said so much in 3 minutes. It was pretty amazing. I don't know if I could have given that much information. It was well presented, all of them. So I appreciate everyone's interest in that. You know, for me, it's you know, community involvement. Whether it's the volunteering and whatever they will do in any capacity here in the city. You know, I know that a lot of them give their time, talent, and treasure back to our city without asking for anything in return. And that's an important aspect, to have a public servant that will do that. That's important. And as the Mayor Pro Tem said, you know, the importance of having someone that knows our city and knows how it works and understands the things that are happening here is important. We have a lot of work to do, so I think it's important to have someone that's knowledgeable in that type of stuff to be selected. And so I would think, all that said, I would agree with Mayor Pro Tem that Ben Diedrich would fill all aspects of it. He knows what's going on. I think he has a very short learning curve as to getting up to speed. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Dynas. You know, I have a question for Councilman Dynas and Mayor Pro Tem Carwin. So when Laz Peterson went up there, and Mayor Pro Tem, you asked him if he can think for himself, that he had any allegiance to me. I would also like to present the question back to you two. During the election in 2022, you endorsed Ben Diedrich. I would like your perspective on, does he have a special allegiance to you? Do you have a special allegiance to him from the history?
Well, I'd first point out that you could have asked him that when he was up there. You didn't ask him any questions at all. And now that he's not up there, you're asking me. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's fair to him. But secondarily, that's just how city council works. People endorse and people move on and people have disagreements. I know that he wasn't my appointment, so he doesn't have that allegiance to me from that. I do know that he had disagreements with my former planning commissioner, Jeff Ledoux. They did vote differently on certain things, which shows that he did not have any allegiance to the way I thought about things. So I think he's shown a track record of independent thought that would carry through to city council.
I'll follow up on that, as well as, you know, yes, I endorsed him. He did not win. You move on from there. You know, sometimes you endorse someone that wins and loses. You just move ahead. Ben is my appointee. I think he's been almost, I think maybe a year now is all. My relationship with my planning commissioner has always been at arm's length, because I enjoy an independent review of the projects that come before the planning commission. So it's not like he and I sit down and discuss things. He has his own thoughts and direction that he thinks how he should vote on the planning commission, and I think we've kept that both professional and separate. So I have no problem thinking that there's any kind of you know, partiality or anything like that. I'm just going based on what I think my criteria is that for who we should appoint, and Ben fits that.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Dynas. Mayor Pro Tem Carwin, to clarify and answer your question on why I didn't ask Diedrich at the time, I believe, looking back at the order, Diedrich went before Peterson. Am I correct in that, Madam Clerk? Okay, so the question didn't arise until I had already left the podium. When you asked the question of Peterson, then I thought, hey, you know what? That would have been a good question if I would have brought that earlier to clarify that.
Yes, it would have.
Yep. So when you ask why I didn't do it, that's why I didn't have the opportunity to. Councilman Temple.
I feel like somebody should have been Mirandized before this interrogation. I think any of the 7 people that came before us today would do honor for the city and have the city's well-being and best in mind. I too am favoring Ben. I know something that wasn't said in so much detail today, although he's been on the Planning Commission. I also know that he was on the Santa Rosa School Board during a moment of crisis, and he performed admirably and did the right thing in the face of quite a bit of opposition. So I too am leaning towards Ben for what he can, will, and has done with the city.
All right, thank you, Councilman Temple. Well, I think that one common theme that I saw through all the applicants was unique identity is needed, more economic development is needed. We're all going to other cities for our economic development, to have dinner, for entertainment. We're possibly losing our rural charm with many new developments coming in. Menifee residents want to preserve what we have, and I think all of the applicants expressed wanting a little bit more smarter growth. And if you look what they all put in writing, they acknowledge smarter growth and slowing down, being more patient with what we have coming in. So I think one great applicant was Alti Holcomb. I think he clearly defined that Menifee residents want more economic development, a downtown, places to have dinner. We need to preserve our rural charm. And specifically to District 2, District 2 loves that rural charm. You go all the way down Marietta Road, rural. You go up Quail Valley, rural. It's very important that we help preserve that for the residents. And when I was initially elected, I made that oath to my residents saying, hey, let's have smart development. Let's be a little bit more selective of what's coming in. Let's define our unique identity. Let's spend our money here instead of spending it somewhere else. Because when we do that, we have more a sales tax base for more police, more infrastructure. So it's very important that we help carry out the vision of the District 2 residents that I helped represent. You know, Menifee residents elected me by 20% in that election off of those criteria. And so I think it would be beneficial for my replacement to carry on that. The other thing I want to specify real quick with Alti Holcomb was he had specific goals for District 2. He talked about a police substation, a community center, and so he had solutions to what District 2 can benefit from. And citywide, he brought a vision for what unique identity is, more commercial and economic development. The other thing I think is important to know about Holcomb is he has a lot of experience at the county level and a lot of experience with where we stand regionally. And I think he could be a great asset to us going forward, not only here locally, but building those relationships with those outside of our city and understanding where we stand regionally. So I think he brings a lot of experience with that. He served in our military. He talks about no new taxes. He talks about smarter growth. I think he is definitely an honorable mention. Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Carwin.
I make a motion to appoint Ben Diedrich to this District 2 City Council seat.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Carwin and a second by Councilman Dynas.
Mayor Estrada,
My screen is blank.
would you mind doing a voice vote?
Okay, let's do the voice vote.
Yeah. Councilmember Temple,
Yay.
Councilmember Dynas.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carwin,
Yes.
and Mayor Estrada.
No. Okay. Congratulations, Benjamin Giedrich. The council looks forward to working with you and building a better Menifee. We will now move on to agenda item 13, city attorney reports.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Okay. City manager reports.
No report.
Okay, thank you. Future agenda requests from council members. Okay, hearing none. We are now going to adjourn at 7:59. Good night, Menifee.